Welcome to Dom Irrera live from the Laugh Factory. Kira Soltanovich, you're here.
You're really going to talk to the cameras too?
Yeah, I do whatever I want. You do whatever you want.
Wow. All right.
Are you here?
Yeah. I'm going to sit more. You know, as a Jew, I don't want like the direct profile.
Already with the Jew.
Yeah. So I'm going to sit.
Bringing the Jew up already.
Oh, I'm going to move this
Great
around.
head of hair, by the way.
Thanks. Thank you.
What's up with your husband? Tonight we're having a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Which I don't know when this is going to be seen, but I should say the Christmas party. It's very funny that we have a party and drink because we drink every night anyway. So I don't know. Maybe tonight I won't drink just to see what it feels like.
Make it different.
Sober will be a high.
And be funny tonight too. That way, yeah.
As opposed to the other nights when I
So
die miserably.
Make it special.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't pander to the crowd like you do with your jokes and you're jumping around, you're mincing.
Yeah.
So
I'm a jester.
You're trying to get your husband to come?
Because I feel like I see a lot of comics here because we always miss each other, you know? Not everyone's in LA all the time, people on the road. And I feel like sometimes the Christmas party is a good place to see people. And he wants to go see The Hobbit tonight. He's that guy. He's like a Lord of the Rings guy.
Is he?
And I told him that there would be plenty of
you still in love with him?
Hairless Jews here that look like Gollum. My voice sounds like Gollum tonight. I want to apologize to the fake cameras that I don't believe are really on.
These are really on.
Dom always thinks there are cameras following him. I just did a voiceover thing and jacked my
damaged
throat
goods
up.
we got over here.
Yeah, voiceover is code for a blowjob.
I get her a cup of coffee. I go to the bathroom. She goes, "Thanks for the coffee." She fucking guzzled. Who guzzles coffee? What kind of a person guzzles coffee? You don't even give it a chance to sit it.
I'm not quite done, so I still have coffee.
Now that's more ladylike. As a comedian, do you like being called a comedian, or does it? Or you want to
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
Good.
Someone just tried to start a whole female comics conversation with me the other day. Very nice comic. I like him a lot. I don't think he was doing anything, menacing. It wasn't like he was trying to say that women aren't funny. But you do feel like when that happens, all of a sudden, you got to like sit up straight. You got to have a clear train of thought. You got to speak on behalf of all female comics.
I know.
It's kind of annoying.
Well, it's very ridiculous to think. I mean, I see that with black comedians when they ask the black guy, like, your people, what do you think? Like, he represents black people.
Right.
You know, it's like...
Or when black comics don't do black rooms, everyone always looks at them crazy, like... How could you not do a black room?
Yeah, right.
I just do any room. Yeah, but what? Like, obviously you don't trust them. Like,
Can't you be a comic who happens to be black instead of a black comic?
Right.
You know?
Like you.
Like me.
Italian comics.
There's not a lot of Italian comics, are there?
No, there actually aren't.
More singers.
Singers.
Lounge singers. And gangsters.
Gangsters.
Mobsters.
And that's about it. That's all your people are good for.
Yeah. Cooking.
Nice
restaurants.
Gravy. Gravy, coffee.
Dip it.
Have you been to Italy? I'm sure you have.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Not as much fun as France because I could speak a little French. My Italian's terrible. My French is bad, but being able to speak the language makes it a lot more fun.
I would love to see you speaking.
Well, you know, what happens...
Bada bing, bada bang in French, though.
No, but what happens is, like, the people, when you're trying, they have a completely different attitude. You know, people say, like, Americans always go, you know, Spanish people come over here, Spanish-speaking people, why don't they learn a fucking language? They're in a country, we speak English here, right? But then if we go to France and start speaking English, they're so rude. They don't speak English. Well, maybe they don't need to speak English. They're in France.
Right.
You know, and like all you got to do is try, and they like it. I'll be trying my ass off, and then I've had guys go, "Monsieur, please, it's enough. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you for trying. I can speak English."
Now, when you're trying,
I can't take it anymore.
Do you have a book in front of you?
No, I didn't. No.
So you're just trying to go with memory.
Well, with things that I know, you know, like if I stick to a hotel, a car. Just certain. If I go out of the area, I mean, I can't speak in, philosophy. I can speak in like, can I have this? I'll order this. I can order in French. I can read it. I can read some of it. But, do you speak any other language? You speak Yiddish?
Russian. Yiddish.
No. My wife was Jewish and she was Russian Jew, but she never was in Russia. But she spoke Yiddish.
It's a language that it was one of those languages that was not passed down for several
Yiddish?
reasons. Yeah, for several
Well,
reasons.
it's kind of a German slang, right?
It's German and Hebrew,
Oh, is it?
kind of. Yeah.
Great words. Great, I mean, schmuck and schwarze and oy vey. Oy vey
Everything.
is
You know what I
those
use all the time? Kippish.
What's that?
A kippish is when someone throws a tantrum. Could be an adult
I never heard that.
or could be a child, but I use it because I have a kid. I use it all the time now.
Kippish?
That my Gentile friends have now.
My Gentile friend.
They use kippish, like, oh, my kid had a kippish in the grocery store the other day. It's a great word.
What about bissel? Is that a Yiddish
Oh,
word?
bissel, yeah. What does that mean?
I have a bissel. Like I think it's
little
like a
bit,
little bit.
a little bit.
Just a bissel.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's one of those languages like my dad understands a little bit, but my grandmother never taught him. My grandmother, well, now she's 101, so she doesn't really speak a lot.
101.
But
Like, those
she does
Russians.
know, I know, they're fermented. She does know, fluent Yiddish, and she spoke it to me all the time.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And you could speak Hebrew? I mean,
No Hebrew, Russian.
You could, Russian, pure Russian.
Well,
Out of the box Russian.
yeah.
Russian from Russia, Russian.
I mean, better than Rosetta Stone.
Do they speak, like in the Ukraine, do they have another language or
Yes.
they speak Russian?
Ukrainian.
Oh, they do have a Ukrainian?
Well, now, yeah.
Is that a stupid question?
Well, no, because everyone used to speak Russian.
Oh.
So my
When it was
parents.
the USSR?
Right.
Back in the USSR?
Exactly. They named it USSR just for that song.
Yeah, the Beatles were that big? They named the country before they actually wrote it.
Right?
Amazing
Yep.
how big the Beatles are.
They're so huge. So I go to Russia, and I go to the Ukraine a couple years ago, and there are people, just selling, like kind of like a farmer's market, but impromptu. Just
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit down right here on this corner and just
Right, sell
sell
shit.
some cherries, right? And I go up to the old lady, and I asked her a question first. I think it was like directions somewhere in Russian. Completely ignored me.
Yeah.
And then I said in Russian, "Oh, I'd like to get some cherries too." Oh, but now all of a sudden her Russian is fantastic.
Oh, right.
They do not like to speak Russian.
Well,
Only Ukrainian. If you're in Latvia, only Latvian. No more Russian except for Moscow.
Well, have you ever been to Barcelona?
Barcelona, yes, I
They
have.
I went in a store, and I'm trying to brush up on Spanish, and I'm not good. But Spanish at least is phonetic. It's easier than French for English speakers, I think.
Yeah.
Because French, is EAUX.
They're
there's
like, too many letters that don't do anything.
But I started to speak, and the woman says to me in English, she goes, we don't speak Spanish here. We speak Catalonian. She
Yeah.
goes, Spanish is our business language. I go, well, I'm fucking wasting my time. I got to learn Catalonian.
Well, wait, were you doing business?
No. Well,
Oh.
yeah. You know what? I guess I was.
Yeah.
You know why she said that?
Were you buying something?
Fucking bitch. Fucking Spanish. No, I was probably buying like some stupid T-shirt that I'm in Spain.
Right. And all they speak is Catalonian.
Right. So I don't know anything about you.
No, that's not true.
No, but I mean, we worked together
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 times.
More,
More?
yes.
Well, I mean, when I interviewed you for,
I see.
when Kevin Nealon doesn't do his show here on Tuesday nights, they call me in, like the fireman, and we developed a relationship and hopefully some sort of a mild friendship from doing the shows together. That's why I wanted to have you on the show, because I always thought we had good energy together. But before those shows, I never met you. Oh, you got me my book.
Yes.
That was sweet.
Yes.
You got me my notebook.
Yes. We had met at the Improv, but I was always kind of shy. I just didn't want to approach you because I just assumed everybody's constantly bugging you about something or talking to you or yapping your ear off. So I had seen you at the Improv. This was probably, 6, 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And kind of always been like, "Hi, Tom."
Was I nice?
Yes.
Better
You're
be
always
nice.
nice. You're as nice as you can be.
Yeah. It's nice as some
As nice as you
some
can
move. I don't know.
physically.
That's a loaded answer. It's weird with me sometimes because I hate when people put you on the spot, and I try my best. And not that I'm any kind of big deal at all, but like, I can't believe you don't remember me. I can't believe. And then I'm thinking I should have remembered such a fucking asshole that would put me on the spot. Like, yeah, you're right. I can't believe I don't remember you either.
I once saw something so beautiful and flawless. And I still to this day cannot believe it's true. I was writing for Joan Rivers a couple years back.
Really?
We were just shooting in the middle of like, I don't know, downtown Miami. I don't know Miami very well, so it was just.
I know Miami.
Right, just it was near the beach somewhere, busy streets. And we're shooting like on the streets, and people are coming up to her, and there are cameras, and of course they see Joan, and she had just won Celebrity Apprentice. I believe she just won. Or
Joan won Celebrity Apprentice?
Yeah.
Joan Rivers?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh.
Anyway, she was, and we couldn't go anywhere. We could not go anywhere. People were constantly interrupting our shoot, like just walking in front of the cameras. Joan, do you remember my stepfather used to cut your uncle's hair? And without skipping a beat. Of course I remember Marty. How is he?
Really?
I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
She did this over and over again,
Yeah.
to the point where I'm like, either she's just making it up to make them feel good,
No, she couldn't make that up.
or she
'cause
couldn't.
I knew Marty. Marty.
Right,
was-
everyone knows Marty.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe that was an easy one.
Yeah.
But she would constantly, one guy had a picture of him. Maybe he knew we were shooting. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he carried around a picture of Joan Rivers. He had a picture. Joan, do you remember in high school, you and my uncle? I mean,
Oh,
and she'd be
shit.
like, I remember. He had a crazy eye and it twitched. Yeah, that's him. I mean,
About 145 pounds.
how does she is 120 years old. How does she remember these things? It was incredible to watch.
Rodney Dangerfield was like that.
Was he like that?
I mean, he remembered all the bad shit. He was fueled up with anger.
Yeah.
From, like, he loved my generation of comedians. I know I'm older than you, but I mean the group, right? Like, that whole Seinfeld, Sam Kinison
Right.
age group.
Right.
And he didn't hang out with his own guys because they pissed him off somehow. But I mean, anyway, he remembered the bad. It's like that joke, Irish Alzheimer's. They forget everything but the grudge.
Right.
Those kind of guys. But
Yeah, I mean,
Well, also she's so flamboyant, and her look. People will recognize her.
people recognize her. She has
Yeah.
a million stories. She knows everybody. She has history with everybody.
And there's a way of handling it. I mean,
She knows how to handle it.
Yeah,
she knows
but I mean,
how to handle that
she's
celebrity.
Cool. She's
yeah.
cool. I mean, I worked with Cher for a long time, and we used to try and get her to come out just to be out of the truck, the bus, or the hotel room. And she said, but people bug me, like I can't walk anywhere. I said, well, you wear a fucking top hat, you have a cane, you got
Assless
fucking,
chaps.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
come on, we put a
If you put a
baseball cap on
sweatshirt
and a
on, yeah.
T-shirt, then
Yeah.
And so, I'm telling her this, and I get her to come out. We go get ice cream in Montreal, and some guy looks at her and goes, hey, I know you. Aren't you, what's her name? And she goes, who could ever forget old what's her name? But, I mean, it was funny because she didn't get recognized except for a bum. But,
Well, living in this town, we
get
see people
yeah.
everywhere. Just
I know.
everywhere. I saw Annette Benning walking her dog up in the canyon. I'm with my sister-in-law, and the dog is beautiful. So of course
Yeah,
we
yeah.
stop and we talk. Oh, what kind of dog is this? No makeup, her hair. It's
Yeah.
Sunday morning. She's in her
I know.
sweats, and then we leave. We part ways, and I tell my sister-in-law, man, that Annette Benning is gorgeous. She's like, who? Who was that?
Yeah.
Because no one is thinking,
Right.
let me be on the lookout
I
up
know.
in the canyon.
I don't look. I don't. People like when my family comes out here, they spot. But of course, they know many more people. They know people from General Hospital. But I don't look
Right.
for. We live in it.
We
and
live in it.
It's like I remember like one day I'm getting something Bristol Farms and Nicolas Cage is standing there. I go, oh, Nicolas Cage, and that was it.
Right, that's
I
it.
didn't say hi to him. I'm not
No.
going to bother him. Like I think it's interesting how relative fame is, and like my goddaughter said something to me. She goes, "You have it made." She goes, "You're right at the level where some people recognize you, but they don't bug you." And I thought, yeah. In other words, I'm not worth the picture. they might know me, but like
You're right at that level where you're making money, but barely surviving. It's nice. It's nice.
Well, we had David Spade came in on Saturday. I was telling you, and Sean Penn came in.
Yeah,
And
you
Sean,
told me that.
Sean was up there, and Sunda, which I didn't think she should have done, but she has a right to do it. She announced that he was there, and the audience didn't believe her, because like we had Justin Bieber there, and he was like a ham. He's like leaning over, waving to people, and Sean is just kind of like, but it's just so funny because I think like that relative of fame and how we relate to each other. Like somebody goes, "How do you know Sean Penn?" Me, like why?
Right.
Like I can't. Like doesn't Sean Penn know people that are not celebrities? What do you think he hangs out in this big house full of like Clint Eastwood and?
But how do you really know Sean Penn?
How do I really know him? From the Comedy Store, from way before, like from '85. I've known him a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
He used to hang out there?
Yeah, he's hanging out there before he went out with Madonna, and he loves comedy, and people don't think of him like that. They think of him as this intense guy, and I mean he's a great actor.
He's a great actor.
But yeah, but I mean he's not. I mean, I went out to dinner with him last night, and I never talked to him about like his arrest and all that shit. I was fascinated because he's so mellow that whatever that wild side of his, maybe he's over it. You know?
What did he get arrested for? Was it like a paparazzi thing?
He punched
punched
people.
somebody,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's punched a few people. But
Who hasn't punched a few people? You've
Right.
punched a few people, right?
yeah,
It's because she wasn't listening.
she wasn't even awake.
She wasn't even. That's
but I
even
wanted
more
to get her
rude.
while I had her. But
Yeah, yeah.
No.
You're like a nice,
Have you
easy
ever hit a
target.
woman?
I once in the 8th grade, because I was
I
defending.
never asked a woman if she ever hit a woman.
Well, you know, chick fights are nasty.
Yeah, I know.
They're nasty. It's the hair. It's the hair. But I, being the comic, even back then in the 8th grade, was trying to break up my best friend and this bully in the locker room after like gym class or something. And we all had to like bend over to get those scoliosis tests with the lesbian PE teachers, whatever.
Yeah.
I remember some bully said something to my best friend. You like that? Or like she liked the PE teacher
Right.
checking her out. I don't know what it was. And I'm like, ladies, you're both pretty, or whatever I said, you know.
Girls,
Right.
we're all good.
Yeah,
We can't get along.
Exactly. And then she threw a punch at my best friend Anna, and hit me instead, and it was on.
You got pissed?
Yeah.
Good.
So I clocked her one. Now, guys, I have hit.
They hit you back?
No, because I'm a pretty good shot. Because when I was
pretty good
growing
shot?
up, well, you know, not a gun, but you know, I have a pretty good aim. Because when I was growing up, I was always kind of the tallest, the biggest, the most menacing.
Really?
You know, I shot up in
How
the
tall are
7th
you?
grade. I'm 5'8", but for a 12-year-old, that's big.
Yeah, that's hot.
You know, and even in high school, I was like, you know, I had boobs, I had hips. All of a sudden, my friends still look like, you know, 5-year-old Asian boys. You know, and I was big. And I remember we were in high school, and this guy would not let go of my friend. We were all leaving this party. He would not let go. It started to get a little bit scary. You know, we were getting a little worried, you know, because she's tiny, and he has a hold on her. And so I said, look, can I talk to you just for a second? I understand. I understand. Just come over here real quick. And I just socked him right in the stomach, and he doubled over, and we ran out.
Socked him? What is this, 1940? And I said, scram.
And I said, "Yeah, see,
I socked
that's
him.
my brother. See."
He was cutting up. He was putting down my gams.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, drats." What would you say? I punched him.
No, look. Oh, yeah,
I socked him in the
It's a
stomach.
podcast. You can say whatever you
It's
want.
not a podcast. You think there are real cameras here?
I'm telling you, there's cameras.
I don't believe it.
Sorry I didn't dress up today.
You look nice.
I feel cute.
You
I
do
lose
look
some
cute.
fucking weight. I'm a fat pig. I hate myself.
No.
It's my New Year's resolution.
What, to hate yourself?
To hate myself more in other ways. Yes, to learn to hate.
Don't just limit.
I wanted to ask you if you thought this was funny, because in that I was going to try it. I tried a little bit of it, but you know that commercial at PSA where they have all those guys saying you should never hit a woman. And then Obama closes it.
He's the closer. He's
the
headliner.
closer. He goes,
I haven't seen it, but I believe you.
But anyway, the funny thing I thought was, you should never hit a woman, not even once. Like, and I thought, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like anybody's going to argue that. Go,
Like-
wait a second. I understand not hitting a woman, but once?
once?
One? You couldn't give me one shot at that fucking loudmouth? I promise. I won't even hit her in the face. There's something
It's
funny.
almost like they're reading your mind. No.
Not even
Not
once.
even
Come
once.
on. Oh, you do think it's funny?
I know you. It is very funny.
Thanks.
I know you wanna. It's tempting.
I mean, why would they have to say that, you know? I had a guy, you know how people don't realize because of different cultures certain words and how offensive they can be. And I was in Montreal. I might have told this on this show before, but I love this. I was hosting this thing called New Faces, right?
Right.
And you know what that is?
Yeah.
Big deal to people. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
7 minutes, and I would say to them, just make them laugh. I go, hey guys, 7 minutes. Your whole life is funneled into this one moment. You got a lot of people you get let down. Anyway, have fun. You know, just and then they loosen up a little. But this guy, a little black kid from Brooklyn, has a really good set. I don't remember his name. And at the end of his set, he walks stage left. And he says, I just got to say something. And I'm thinking, get off the fucking stage. You were great. Let it go. Guys, we got to stop beating our bitches. It's wrong. Now, don't get me wrong. That don't mean the motherfuckers don't deserve it once in a while, but it's wrong to beat the bitch. And he goes, thank you, love you, you know. And I go up and I go, man, how interesting, how profound that was. You know, like, because he didn't even realize calling a woman a bitch was already offensive.
Right.
You know what I mean? He didn't even, like, he was so fucking out there. And who's going to argue? Who's going to get enlightened by going, maybe he's right. We should stop beating the bitches.
These hoes
He's gotta,
actually deserve better treatment.
Yeah.
These skanks. You're right. Well, I also find it very interesting when you were saying certain words. My father-in-law is like a little bit anti-Semitic.
Is he Jewish?
No, he's Irish, Catholic.
So your kid is a mix of Russian
Right.
and Irish?
Yeah. And I always
Well,
find
huh?
it, look
Well,
at you
look at
doing the
me.
math in your head. I always find it interesting how, like, just the slightest word that, like, does he realize, he's very, like, Archie Bunker-ish.
Yeah, yeah.
He actually sits in a chair just like it's,
Right,
it's,
right.
it's one of those, you know.
King?
Yes. And no one sits in it. No one sits in it.
Yeah.
But
He's
it's like,
Irish?
yeah, yeah. Finnegan,
So your married name would be Finnegan.
it is.
Boy, do you not look like a Finnegan.
No. My husband is half Puerto Rican, half Irish.
What a mix.
He looks more Puerto Rican. So we come in the Finnegan family, and here we are.
Right, right.
We look like terrorists.
They were adopted.
My husband's cousins on the East Coast, the Finnegans, are all redheads, blue eyes, freckles. And they have this picture at one of their weddings where they all lined up, right? And they're all like shoulder to shoulder, arms around each other. And then I guess at the last minute, my husband's name is Mike, they said, Mike, get in. So he runs in the front, and he goes like this, right? He took off his tuxedo jacket, so just wearing his vest. He looked like the valet had photobombed the picture. Because he looks so Puerto Rican.
Right.
He's like, hey! And all these
hey,
like
about a hand
redheads.
for the rest of the Finnegans.
And all the redheads behind him are like, it just looks like he just parked all their cars. But we don't look like Finnegans. I finally did it.
See, I love that about America. And like, I was in Australia, and they mixed too. And like, some of the most beautiful kids in the world are those mixed race kids. I met this Scottish Chinese rock and roll chick. Fucking gorgeous. Because she had like the Asian features, but with light blue eyes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she looked like she was in, remember they used to call it Technicolor? That's what she looked like she was in. She was
Right.
fucking hot.
Did you do her?
No, actually, it wasn't her, but another girl, mixed race, and her girlfriend. I did a threesome with
threesome?
them. Yeah, and I never really hardly done that. I mean, for free, but this was,
This was just like a favor?
This is a result
the
of my
story.
stand-up. I would have never gotten them without it. But I used every fucking cliche trick in the book to get them in bed together. I used carpe diem, seize the day. I used life is short. If you love each other, do you love each other? We totally. Well, how about taking it to a different level?
Stop it.
I get satellite. We can get any movie you want. And I tried everything, and I got them.
I get satellite. Was this in the 80s?
I know. It was a month ago.
Stop it.
You stop it. It's a show. I can't stop it.
Wait, you had a threesome a month ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know, but I mean,
Dumb.
I go from fucking cold. I go from 0 to 100. You know.
What does that mean?
Well, I mean, like, if I'm
Is
standing.
that your blood pressure? What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about my ratio with how many girls that I would possibly end up with.
Right.
I mean, I go nothing, and then all of a sudden, they drop out of the sky. Especially the farther I get from home. So Australia is good for me.
Australia's great for you.
L.A.
Well, you're Americans already. That's a novelty. They've probably seen you on television.
That
so
helps.
They're like,
Yeah. That helps more than anything.
Right. They're like, hey, you're that guy.
That helps more than conditioning.
Kind of massages the situation a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like instant lube all of a sudden when you're on TV.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do you get hit on, or are people afraid of you?
No, women. I mean, the female comics that I hang out with, we don't. Well, when I was single, don't get any action on the road.
Yeah. Well, I think I like funny women. I
Oh yeah,
couldn't be with somebody who wasn't funny.
right.
But some guys are intimidated by it because they're used to the woman being like the laugher. Like, you
Right.
were so funny, But then, I think they're intimidated. Like, wait, she's fucking wittier than me. I can't handle this, you know.
Well, people ask me, when I was getting married, like, "Oh, is this your soulmate?" No, no. He laughs at my jokes.
That's why I like
Oh,
it.
you guys are like meant for. Do you complete each other? No, no,
You complete
no.
me.
He laughs at my jokes.
Uh-huh.
I say something, he laughs. Done. We're
he
together.
funny?
He's very funny.
Oh, that's good.
He's very funny.
Yeah.
So it's nice and equal. Because I dated very briefly, whatever, nothing major, a couple male comics, nothing serious at all. It was awful. Awful.
Yeah.
Because inevitably you'll do a set together the same night, and if you do better than them,
Oh, yeah.
anything that shrinks the penis is bad. You're funnier, you get more spots, you get a TV spot, the penis just goes right inside the body.
Yeah.
It's the worst. So I was like, forget it. There are plenty of couples, male.
If you suck
Female-
on his ass, it'll actually pull it back.
Right,
too.
right, right.
That's what I heard.
That medically, I think that is.
Yeah. I don't know what that's called. The trombone or something.
Yeah, I think it is the trombone.
The reverse trombone.
The dirty trombone. Hmm. That's Latin.
Yes.
From the tromb.
Trump, yeah.
Tromb is
Ad
is-
hoc, habeas corpus.
Right, seize the day.
delicti. No, it's carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
You gotta throw a little bit of this in to get these babes.
You gotta throw in a little dirty trombone.
Oh boy, I don't want that. I don't want any.
Is that something that guys really want? You want a little ass action?
Nah, I mean I don't want to talk about it. It's a podcast. What do you come
Yeah.
out here? You gotta pig it up.
I
For the love of God.
apologize. I apologize. I'm a dirty comic. Chicks.
So getting back to your kids.
Yeah.
Tell me about your children.
Yeah. Oh, sweet little guy.
Oh, you got one boy?
Yeah. Just one.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about him on stage.
Yeah.
Like this. How old is he?
2 on Saturday.
Oh.
In 2 days.
That's still a tough age. Wait till he's 4. 4 is fucking fun.
4, is it?
Yeah.
You have kids?
No, but I've helped raise kids.
You have helped raise kids. You work in an orphanage? What do you
Yeah, I
run?
work in an orphanage. No,
What are you, foster parent?
Hey, what are you, the person who asks all the questions to the host? What are you, Socrates?
What are you, a non-union pedophile? What do you mean you help raise kids?
Well, I mean, I've been around. Like my little cousin Susan, she was a little kid. I would take care of her. My goddaughter. As a comedian, if I'm not acting, I'm free during the day for
Yeah,
at least
that's
4
true.
days a week.
That's true.
And so, I would pick up my goddaughter at school and her girlfriend, take them to a movie, take them to get something to eat, So, I mean, I know
That's very sweet.
there is another side of me. I'm not just a fucking killer act.
You're not just a hot, sexy,
Not
waiting
just
to be
a-
a threesome killer comedian.
The great thing about the threesome is it takes all the pressure off.
I've never had a threesome.
But, a woman, you can do it whenever you want. Guys, you have to be
What do you
lucky.
mean we can do it whenever we want?
Well, you could.
Just
look,
walk out on the street? Oh, should we hold?
No, if you...
Hold for fire engine?
They
gotta
know we're in here.
Save somebody.
Ask not for whom the bell tolls.
Exactly.
I said to this guy last night, ask not for whom the bell tolls. I go, you know who wrote that? He goes, I don't know. I don't know who wrote that. He goes, I said, Ernest Hemingway, you fucking idiot. He goes, I never heard of him. I said, never mind. End the conversation.
He's up for a Golden Globe.
Hemingway?
And if they're not in Us Weekly, no one knows who
What's that?
people are anymore.
I know.
Nobody knows.
Excuse me.
I mentioned Edgar Allan Poe on stage the other night. Silence.
One of the things I notice about people don't read as much because one of the great things and the downside of having instant access to information is you don't have to read it before you get it. You know what I mean? Like with the iPhones. Like
Right.
I have friends that are just like they want you to ask them a question.
So they can look it up?
Yeah,
They
who
can
was
Google
the
it?
first one on Mount Everest? Like I know it's Edwin Hillary or the guy, the lion Sherpa, whoever he was.
Right.
But they don't know. They don't read. It's amazing, you know, and it makes it harder sometimes doing. I'm not, like the Asian kids read.
Yeah,
They're
but
fucking
in
smart.
Asia,
The Asians test out. Whew. Why are Jews smarter than regular people?
you've asked me this before. I don't know. Are they?
I'm fascinated by. Yeah, yeah. Look at the accomplishments they have. The Rosetta Stone. No, that wasn't them. With the atom bomb and
Polio vaccine.
Jonas Salk.
Good old Jonas. I don't know. I mean, I think it just seems like maybe we are because there are less of us.
No, the accomplishments are the no. Look up Nobel Peace Prizes and you'll see how many Jews have won.
Yeah, that's rigged.
The Jews rigged it.
Yeah.
But how come they accomplish so much and some other minorities can't do shit?
Do you mind? Do you want to?
You want to
Which
cut that?
ones? Which ones? I'm saying, do you want to be more specific?
I'm not getting into that. They
Come on,
know
just
who
say
they are.
Vietnamese. Just say it.
No, I'm not getting into it. I can't believe you would lead me down that path. You're trying to sabotage Tom Irrera live from the Lab Factory, March 2nd, Tropicana.
Vietnamese in for free.
Where are you
March
at? Do
2nd.
you have anything you want to plug?
I'm here tomorrow.
This isn't going to be on tomorrow. It's going to be edited. It's
I'm
gonna
probably
be...
gonna. Whenever they listen to this, I'll probably be at the Laugh Factory the next day.
All right, cool.
No, where am I? I don't know.
You don't. I'm not putting pressure on you. If you're staying in town, taking care of your kid, doing stand-up, killing, doing the Tonight Show, which I know
That's true. I'll be on
know.
the Tonight Show in January.
And does you have fun on that?
It is the best gig. I can walk in.
Do you do a character on there, or do you do stand-up?
No. Can you believe I've never done stand-up on the show? I've been on the show 7 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
So right into the Tonight Show, care of Bob and Ross. No, I don't know. I don't know why. I did well when I showcased. I mean, I thought I did well, but
you had the showcase for those mooks.
twice.
Ross, I've known since he was a kid. He only got his gigs because his stepfather was Bud Friedman.
Yeah.
I like Ross, but I mean,
they're
what
great.
the fuck's he know about comedy?
They're great.
But it's funny that they would be the judge of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a Christmas card that's from the head writer, Jack Cohen. You probably know Jack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Jack.
He's great. I got a Christmas card, and basically it said, Kira, you're like one of the most consistently funny correspondents we have on the show. I was like, big mistake.
You're a
Jack.
correspondent on it?
Well, they call me a correspondent. Yeah. Big
Right.
mistake, Jack. I'm using that.
Oh, instead of
Using
comedians?
that to get my next pay raise.
Oh.
But it was that was very sweet of him, to write that.
Yeah, because he's not known for his sweetness.
He's very nice.
He's a little tough James
he's-
Dean type of guy.
Yeah, but he's always very, very cool with me.
He told me something so interesting one time, and I never thought of this, like that, in the honesty of it. His son was doing really well playing football, and he said he was jealous of him. You know?
Yeah.
That really hit me, because I thought, don't you love him so much you're proud of him? You're jealous of
Oh,
him?
there are a lot of parents who are jealous of their kids.
My father was jealous of me, but, he's an idiot. My father, he's a marine lifer. He's crazy.
Yeah. And did he ever want to do comedy? Did he ever
No,
fashion himself funny?
He never said anything funny.
No.
He can't think funny. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing how he's so perfect to be a Marine because he was just that focused idiot. I mean,
Follow
and I don't
orders.
mean Marines are all idiots, but these type of, like my two brothers are Marines. They're very bright. But he's that kind of like, I'll run in there. I'm fucking running there because I love this country. You're not thinking, because if you think too much, you're thinking, what am I fucking doing here?
Right.
You know?
Right. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
They don't want you thinking. I just did a show a couple weeks ago out North Carolina for one of the biggest, next to Pendleton, the second biggest camp.
Camp Lejeune.
Lejeune, thank you.
Yeah.
A French word that you can't pronounce.
Lejeune.
Lejeune. And it was one of the hardest shows.
Really?
Because these freaking Marines, they don't know how to clap. They don't know how to I guess they're trained not to applaud. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
The Marines are sometimes the
I
hardest
did one,
audiences.
I did one there too, and it was outside with a drizzle. It really sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm going down to Raleigh for New Year's Eve. Good
Where are you going to be
nights.
Oh, Good Nights.
You ever worked there?
No.
That's.
Is it a good club?
Yeah, very good. Looking forward to that because my half brothers and sisters are down there, so I got family in Charlotte and Wilmington.
Really?
Yeah, really. Nobody lies about that.
No, but the fact
Love
you
it.
have half brothers and sisters.
I know.
That's cool, right?
Yeah, yeah, I love them. They're great.
And now your brothers that are in the military with Irrera on their.
Right. Yeah, that's
Does
come up.
everyone ask them?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
brother Tommy, he's out, but my brother Joe, he's like almost a general. He's a
Jeez.
colonel, the highest colonel you can get, and
Wow.
I want him to become a general just because of the word.
Yeah, and he has
Just to call him
clearance,
General Irrera.
right?
Hey, General Irrera, what's up? Yeah, he's got. Oh, yeah.
But did people always stop them? Irrera. I know
Yeah,
that
a lot of
last name,
times.
yeah.
Yeah, I asked I was supposed to go to Israel, right, and I didn't go because of that. Remember, the war was just about to start, and
Isn't that war always about to start?
yeah,
there?
but I mean, it was more imminent. It was much more. Remember when they loaded up at the borders just a month ago?
Oh, right,
Remember
right,
when
right.
it was like they actually a couple bombs hit Tel Aviv, bombs hit Jerusalem.
Right, right.
That hadn't happened in 40 years. Anyway, so I wanted to go to my brothers and ask them. My brother Tommy goes, Israel now? No. He goes, but you know what? You asked me, the caring brother. Let's ask the crazy brother, then make your decision. So I called my brother Joe, the colonel. I go, Joe, what do you think about me going to Israel? He goes, he says, hold on a second, Dom. Looks up on a computer. He said, they have like a military website
Yeah.
of hotspots around the world.
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, I take a rain check on this one. Yeah.
Wow.
And then people in Israel told me not to come. And
Jeez, and they never say that.
They said, don't come now. We're doing in the safe rooms a lot. There's nobody on the streets for a couple of days there. But I mean, I know they're under constant threat, but this was much more threatening.
Yeah, my cousins out there they never make a big deal out of anything. So for the fact that
What a way to live life, though.
Yeah,
In a way,
I know.
you embrace life more because it's day to day. I mean.
But they're always talking about how Israel, you have to come to Israel. It's so much better. You think you have hummus here? You don't know what real hummus is. Like
Well,
they're constantly
Not
like
going to
Israel
go to
is.
the Middle East for the hummus.
Well, they everything. I mean, they came
Yeah.
out here to visit me. I cut up some watermelon for them. It was summertime. It was juicy. It was delicious. Pff, you call this watermelon? Like
They're
nothing
very
is ever.
ungrateful a lot.
But nothing is ever as good as it is in Israel.
Yeah.
So for them to say, listen, shit's going down, is a big deal. Yeah. I was going to go to Israel. I had my bags packed, went to the airport, had my ticket, Continental Airlines. They wouldn't let me get on the plane.
Why?
My passport expired in 5 months.
Wow.
Yeah. In 5 months. So not like, I was only going for 2 weeks. So not like in a month or two. In 5 months, it was going to
Well, that's
expire.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
My dad was there with me. We were going to go together. He got on the flight without me. He was like in tears. I felt awful. Felt so bad for my dad. He was so upset. But you know what? There was a part of me that was
How
a
old
little
were
bit.
you then?
Oh, this was just a couple years ago.
Jeez.
There was a part of me, honestly, was a little bit grateful
Yeah.
because it scares me. There's, you listen to
What,
the news.
war?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But you listen to the news, like I was going to Israel, so I was kind of preparing myself. Made the mistake of watching the news and going online and CNN and all the stuff, and there were all these bombings going on at the time, and it's constantly going on. I don't know
Yeah.
how people.
Well, also the difference is like somebody said, "What about Northern Ireland?" I go, and the Irish. I go, first of all, it's way different. Northern Ireland, the Irish are not surrounded by enemy.
Right.
I mean, if you.
Well, sharks. They are an island, so.
Good point.
Yes.
And the cold water shark.
Right.
But I mean, if you want to, if the airport is bombed in Tel Aviv, you can't just go to Damascus and get a flight.
Right.
I mean, you just
You're done.
Yeah, you're done. You have to stay there till the war ends or they fix the airport or whatever. That's a big difference. I
It's
mean,
a crazy place. It's a crazy way to live.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but people that are there, they say, you've been there, right, before?
No,
You've
that's
never
why I
been?
wanted to go.
Oh.
Jeremy Hotz and I were supposed to go together.
Were you going with Avi Lieberman?
I don't want to talk about that.
Well, he has that show. that he holds over everybody's head. Avi, if you're listening, I love you. But he always says to me, I want to get you on that show. Can you do 20 minutes clean? No, Avi, I've only been doing comedy for 15 years, so give me another 15 and I'll be able to string something together.
Like he could be the judge. Well, where'd you
Sweet
start?
guy, but it's like, I don't want to go now. He constantly holds it over my head. I'm like, forget it.
Where did you start comedy?
Here in L.A.
Did you? Are you from LA?
No, San Francisco. I went to college at SDSU,
San Diego.
San Diego State University, and when I graduated, I came up here because I wanted to start in San Diego, and I would go down to the La Jolla Comedy Store, and I would just feel so.
I love that club.
I liked it a lot, but I was just nervous. I was scared. You know, I was like 19.
Did you have
college.
a theater background?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I saw Bobby Lee on stage there, and I was like, well, if this guy can do it.
He's got much better.
Oh, yeah, he's a good friend of mine. I always tell him that story. But I mean, he did. He inspired me. I worked at the San Diego Zoo with this guy, Chris, the zoo man, Clobber.
Oh, really?
And he was doing comedy at the La Jolla Comedy Store. So I was doing like tours at the San Diego Zoo, driving the double-decker buses and kind of trying out material. Yeah, that was how I made money in college.
Wow.
Trying out material, but I was scared. I don't know why. I felt like if I just do it in LA, and everyone says LA is like one of the most difficult places
the most
to
difficult
start.
because the best acts are here.
But I didn't know that. I thought the opposite.
This is the last place you want to start.
I
this
didn't
is the place
know.
you want to finish.
Right. I thought it'd be the opposite. I thought, I'll start where there's like open mics and everyone's doing it, and it'll be more of a support group.
Excuse me.
You right? You want some help? Are you gonna smoke?
Yeah. You mind?
Are you taking your Lipitor? What's going on? Oh, you're looking at the time.
Only because I want us to have a full hour.
Yes. What time
And
is
we
it?
started late. We're good. You good for another 15?
Good. I'm good.
It's fucking guys that came in here with the sound.
Boom, boom, doors. Jeez.
So you started in LA. That's rough, yeah. Because at least most people start like in San Francisco or Boston at moderate, and then they move.
Right.
Say like the natural progression when I started was, you're from Boston, you moved to New York, then you moved to LA.
Right.
You go right to LA. It's like you're going up against the best comedians in the country.
Well, I didn't go into the improv for 2 years.
You just did like.
I told myself I don't want to go, excuse me, into a real club until I have a real set.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of comics now, they're like, oh yeah, no, I have 5 minutes, so I should headline the Laugh Factory.
5 minutes. I know.
So I didn't go into a real club for 2 years.
That's smart.
So I feel like at least, I was just starting off like you are, like in your small, like Minneapolis. You're just like your little home club. I would do open mics. I would do anyone that would give me a spot. I did women's shelters, those laundromat shows, hostels. I did a lot of hostel shows. So I think at least.
I didn't do that, but you didn't come up that way when I started.
Yeah, well, you started in New York, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, New York is also a hard place to start.
Yeah, but it's not as hard as here.
I'll tell you.
There's a lot more clubs there.
The one thing that's really bad about starting in LA is you're green, you do have a set, but if you have an off night, which a lot of people do, and when I started, industry was still coming out to the clubs,
Right.
and the industry sees you, all of a sudden that's it. That's their image of you.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to learn and make mistakes.
Right.
That's difficult.
Very difficult. Yeah.
But I don't regret it.
Well.
I'm glad I started out here.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad I started in New York because it was the competition was so good.
Yeah.
When I started there were much more concentrated talent because we didn't have all the options that you had starting out. So we really had to write to get on, to beat out these other guys.
Right.
To get on stage that night, But but the thing I find harder for your like generation of comics is so much has been said already.
Yeah.
Like it's like being a songwriter now. How many ways can you phrase the word love and then or you or baby into a song?
Right.
And it's like now, it's like that's why when you talk about your son, only you have that son.
Yeah.
So that can make it original.
Well, and that's what I'm sticking to. I've always done. It's just what's happening in my life. A lot of comics will write like these kind of out there abstract jokes, which is a great style too. But it just never worked for me. Or they'll do something political, or they'll make a joke about whatever's in the news. Maybe I might throw one or two, but I've always just stuck with what's going on in my life at this moment.
Yeah.
Like the Percy joke. I don't know if you saw that one. Did I do that one last time?
I don't know.
You and I had your interview show afterwards. We're in Whole Foods, Sherman Oaks. I apologize to anyone that shops there because, something happens. You put a 2-year-old in a shopping cart stroller and they lose their mind.
Right.
They start like, he just loses his mind because he just all of a sudden he feels trapped,
He is trapped.
He is trapped. I don't even buckle him in anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of give him a little bit of that wiggle room.
Imagine being in a giant cart, strapped in.
If someone were just to push me around town, are you kidding me? I'd be so happy right now. I wouldn't have to do anything. You just stroll me around, take a nap. Anyway, so he flips out because he's looking for his Thomas train. Do you know Thomas, the engine?
No.
It's like this little animated
Okay.
cartoon,
Yeah,
Thomas.
I know.
And Thomas's best friend, it's a British show originally. Ringo Starr narrated it.
Right.
Thomas's best friend is Percy. But a 2-year-old cannot pronounce the word Percy. So he's screaming like a maniac, having a kippish at the top of his lungs, I want pussy! Screaming, I want pussy!
Me too, kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on, kid. Listen to him.
Well, I'm taking these, I'm reading this book, this parenting book, where the guy says, if a child starts to throw a tantrum, you have to meet his level of tantrum, because then he knows he's being heard. So,
Right.
for example, in this case, I would have to start screaming what he's
want
screaming,
pussy.
I want pussy too. So I'm screaming, I want pussy, and he's screaming, I want pussy.
Yeah, everybody wants
Everybody
pussy.
wants pussy. So I figure I do that. I tried it out a couple times on stage. I'm, working on it, figuring it out, tweaking it. Had a new little closer. Nobody can steal that. No one can say it's not original. No one can,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I know it's me. I do it in my voice. And that's the kind of stuff that I just want to keep working on and keep progressing with because, like you said, everything, people have been talking about kids since the beginning of time.
And relationships
and marriage and my
and
husband.
the difference.
And
And some people don't realize how cliched and corny and old style it is to compare things all the time.
Right.
Like when I was in New York, it was New York compared to L.A. But there was a subdivision of it, like cats compared to dogs, and blacks compared to whites. And I see some black comedians, and they don't realize how old school it is to go up and go, man, you white people. And the black guy said, I ain't going in that motherfucking place. And the white guy goes, well, I'll just go right in. Always the cliched one. And they don't realize how old that is. They think they're hip.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I wish you could see what I saw so you would know that you can be better than that.
Right.
Than that comparison.
Well, Chris Rock always inspires me because he does take things like relationships and kids and he makes them so original and he makes it cool. His bit about, your one job as a father of girls is keep them off the pole. So he's talking about his kids, but it's in a hysterical, funny way.
Brilliant.
He's brilliant, but I just realized, okay, you can still make kids and wives and husbands and marriages fun and different and unique.
I was thinking of him the other day because I had a dream that I was living next to these gay guys who had a tiger.
Oh, so it was a wet dream.
Yeah. But I had some people over, and I go, guys, I got friends here. Can you please, with the tiger? They go, first of all, it's a baby tiger. And secondly, I said, do you have a license for an endangered species? And I go, yeah, we have a license. And I'm thinking, how the fuck did this come into my mind? That I was, and I go, and they go, well, if you relax, he won't bite you. I go, I can't relax. It's a fucking tiger, right? This is my dream. But and then I woke up thinking of Chris Rock's bit about Siegfried and Roy. Do you remember that bit?
Right.
That he, the tiger. They were talking about how fucked up and crazy he was. He said all he did was go tiger. He didn't do anything special. He went tiger on them.
Right.
Because that's what they do. But anyway, sorry to make you my therapist for a second.
No, I want to hear about it. So what do you think? What do you think your fears were in that dream?
I think I'm afraid of animals.
And gay guys?
No, what happened was my goddaughter and I were going upstairs, and there's a gay guy that lives next door to us, and I was laughing at the idea of how fucking good a shape these guys are in when like straight guys go, because I mean, I never understood this. Let's go beat up some fags tonight. How fucking mean and what the crazy is that? I'm thinking, why don't you try that now?
Right.
With this new revolution of these fucking gay guys being all in
Yeah,
incredible shape.
and they're all roided
That's all
up,
they
too.
do is lift weights.
Yeah. Well, that just goes to show how lower our standards are as women. Because we'll date a guy who's out of shape, and you got whatever, you don't work out, you got a little bit of a belly. But men?
No.
No.
Never.
No. Man is all about
Total,
this.
yeah, well.
The men need to see I need to see some abs and give me an ass and work out. And,
Yeah.
And chicks are like, sure.
Men aren't impressed by accomplishments. They can't get a hard on something on something you did.
Right.
Like a woman can get excited about a great set. You're not gonna, you could have the greatest set you've ever had, and nobody's gonna have a hard on in the audience because you were funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just that we just
No,
work
it's
differently.
your visual.
Yeah.
That's why gay guys work out. They look nice. They smell good.
God bless them.
Yeah, God bless them. They make every neighborhood awesome.
I think it's funny in San Francisco. You say you're from San Francisco, like people think, oh, that's really gay. It's like they act like when you get off a plane in San Francisco, hello, welcome to San Francisco. Like it's not.
Well, sometimes.
I mean, It's like,
No, there are way more Asians.
Yeah.
And the Gaysians are out of control.
Yeah.
Too many. I grew up in San Francisco. That's my city.
Yeah.
And
You never did Cobb's or any of those clubs?
Well, when I started down here, then would go up and
Yeah, because they never like you if you start and you're from the city. You got to go somewhere to come
go
back.
somewhere and come back. They never really embraced me. I don't know why.
What do they got? 2 clubs left?
Yeah, the old Cobb's turned into the Green Room. I headlined there a lot.
What's the Green Room?
It's gone now. The guy, he didn't
the old
take
Cobb's
care
turned
of.
into a new Cobb's, like a 500-seater.
No. What I'm saying is physically the building.
Oh, that building. Oh, okay.
Yeah, in the cannery.
Right.
Yeah. Where Columbus ends.
I love that place.
Yeah, great room. When I was a kid, I snuck in. I think I might have told you this story. My mom snuck me and 5 of my friends, and we were 15. It was my birthday, and we saw Rich Scheidner. He was the headliner.
Yeah.
Perform. I knew I wanted to be a comic, so my mom snuck us in. This is when it was 18 and older to get in, and she lied, and she was like, "Yeah, everybody here is 18. They are all my children. I vouch for them all." And the
With
guy,
my accent.
Yeah, the guy, and there was like a black girl and an Asian girl. I had like a very Benetton
Right.
group of friends, and the guy's like,
Benetton?
"Really?" The Benetton ad where they're all like different
Oh, yeah,
races,
yeah.
and there's like a little UN. And the guy at the box office was like, well, it's 18 and older. Oh, yes, everybody here is 18. We actually did look 18 back then.
Yeah.
But anyway, she
So he
snuck us
just
in.
trusted you on that?
Yeah,
I thought you could have kids in Cobb's because they serve food.
for some reason, it was 18 only. Yeah, back then. So we watched the show, and Rich Scheidner came over, and he sat down at the table. We were hanging out at the table in the restaurant.
Of
Of course he did.
15-year-old girls.
At the time, I was like, "This is so awesome." Now, as an adult, I look back. That was so disgusting. The hell were you thinking, Rich? Pervert.
Well, he was one of the guys that when I started out, he was already established. And I'd look at him and I thought, now that's a comedian. Look at the way he sweats. He has a towel. He's fucking working. He's doing.
Yeah,
I don't even.
his shirt was drenched.
And the funny thing is, Rich to me when we're together is a funny guy, but I never even laughed at his act. That doesn't mean it wasn't funny. I'm not that much of a laugher at material.
Right.
But I was just amazed by his energy. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck. Because I even thought, I don't know if you had to go through this process, but I didn't know whether to have high energy, low energy. This, talking. I mean, I ended up just wanting to be whatever like my regular voice.
Yeah.
But when I see Rich, I go, yeah, you got to go out there and big, and you know what I mean? And
Well, it works for you because you have your monotone, very dull,
Droning.
very droning,
yes.
lifeless delivery.
Yeah, what you do is different. You relax people.
No. You have because your speech is very funny. The way you deliver and because you have that, which you've coined, the bada bing, bada bang, and the thing, and the, with all due respect, but then you'll do something outside of that, and it just highlights it more.
It's funny you say that because I haven't done bada boom, bada bing, or bang.
I know, it's one of my...
for 10 years.
I know, it's one of my favorites. It's just a classic.
I'll bring it back.
No.
I stopped doing it because of The Sopranos. Because people...
But that's why it actually...
People would say to me, do you know The Sopranos is doing bada boom? I go, yeah. They go, well, that's yours. I go, it's not mine. It's like saying that I wrote It Is What It Is. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a colloquialism. It's a,
Right.
It's just, it's an Italian neighborhood thing. I didn't write it. I just heard it, and that. So, but I mean, imagine like me, like getting all uppity and suing The Sopranos. And
Yeah.
The bitter Italian comedian. So he couldn't be on it. So he'll sue the fucking show. What a jerk off I would have been. I just let it go and I stopped doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's one of my
favorites.
favorites.
I would bring it back, but
with all due respect, that was great.
Well, that I've done.
I haven't seen that in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, those are my favorites. Those are classics. But you're just anything you say. I love, my favorite thing is when you get up on stage and whoever just left, you say the most benign, like very sweet backhanded compliment. Like it's so like nothing, but the way you deliver it, it's very sweetly rude.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah, I like comments like Fraser. So it goes on. I go, Fraser Smith. I love that guy. Nobody makes it look harder, huh? They say the comedy's hard. You got to watch Fraser. It's brutal.
That's the classic. That's what I love. How you deliver
I only
that.
do it with people that I like. I never
Well, of
would.
course.
I mean, I think that there's a great group of comedians coming up now. I think that there was really a dearth of talent for a while. I hate to say this. At the Comedy Store, Pauly Shore and I, there's a sentence I won't say much, were the only ones that did any television for like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah. And now you got all these guys and all these people that are so talented.
Yeah, I feel like the
group.
Comedy Store took a little bit of a
It did.
dip.
But it's back.
Yeah.
And I like the relationship between these two clubs because Mitzi loves Jamie. Jamie loves her. You can be on both sides one night. It's a big enough city.
Yes, of
Fucking
course.
10 million people. Does it going to matter whether you're on both sides in clubs that seat 300 people?
Yeah. I wish the
You
improv.
work there?
I don't as a regular. I've never showcased for Mitzi. Can you believe that? I don't
Yeah.
know. I did a show there for 3 years.
Oh, you told
I
me
helped.
that.
Yeah, I helped run like
In
the belly room. Yeah, just on Sunday nights with a bunch of other comics. So I was there a lot.
What a cool looking little room that is,
I
huh?
love
That
the belly
photographs
room.
so well. You ever see anybody do anything
Yeah,
on camera? It's great.
love. That's one of my favorite rooms.
Are you working Vegas at all?
Excuse me. Yeah. Oh, you mean this club in Vegas? I haven't done it yet.
No, any club in Vegas.
Yeah, improv. Excuse me.
You all right? How's
Yeah.
your voice?
It's not
Does
great.
it hurt?
No, there's no pain involved. It's just wrecked. I'm just gonna cough one more time.
What's the character you were doing?
I wasn't doing a character. I was doing an audition to do an XM radio show.
Why'd you have to do voices? They were looking for character voices?
I wasn't doing voices, just doing me.
Oh.
I'm gonna cough one more time and then I'll be done.
Don't worry about it. That's her hook, coughing.
Yeah, I'm the coughing comic.
Oh, I love the girl that coughs. Oh.
It's to fill the space when no one's laughing. You cough. It's like when comics laugh at the end of their jokes to kind
Yeah,
of fill
you
that
cough.
void. I cough. Yeah. No one's ever done it before. It's
I know.
original.
I had bronchitis last year, and it's really hard to be like a cocky Italian comedian with a hacking cough. So I says to her, "You, babe."
That's actually a funny bit to try to be like a badass with with the sniffles.
Yeah, right.
Try to like rob somebody.
I said, and I got the fucking guy. Excuse me. Did you ever have somebody?
You have to do that.
Did you ever have
That's
somebody
hilarious.
like you don't know what they did, like whether they coughed or sneezed?
Right.
And you tell
Because they took it inside.
They make this like kind of a barking,
They
and
do
I go,
it.
yeah, right. What was that? God bless you. No, it wasn't a sneeze. Oh, okay.
Did you choke? What was that? What happened? Did you orgasm?
What
Is that
the
your
fuck
orgasm?
was that?
That's a funny bit, Dom. Please do that.
About that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try and remember.
Yeah. Like some pimp. Bitch, you better have my money. Hold on one second.
You
Allergies.
better. And I'm telling you one thing for the fucking last time. Excuse me. God bless you too.
Where was I?
I think we're developing something
I
here.
like it. But it's
So-
you. It's you. It's like if someone else were to do that, it wouldn't be funny. But for some reason,
Some reason a
You.
goofball like you. Now, what
You
do
make it funny.
Now you're writing too for a living.
yeah.
That's
I'm writing.
good.
I was writing on a show earlier this year called "Warning: Men Thinking." A couple comics run it. Alex Raimundo, Ben Morrison.
Oh, I know Ben.
Yeah, they were on it as hosts. Bob Duback. You know Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was fun. It's fun to write for dudes.
Bob's one of the guys that was so handsome when he was younger.
Still handsome.
But I mean, he's not as handsome as he was. So I don't know. I have to see his act now because he predicated so much on being good looking.
Oh.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, he's good looking. You know, salt and pepper now, but he's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
a good looking guy. And that was fun to write on that show. It was good.
It's good. I've never written on a show.
You know, I like developing. Maybe that's just because, from a comic's point of view, it's very similar to your act. I like developing TV shows. I like that whole process. It was because I didn't help develop it, but we were, at ground zero. Like they literally said to us, all right, we got to, the camera's going to pan in, and what do we see first? Like we had to sit there and beat it out and all that. It was really fun. It's very fulfilling.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've written on shows that I've hosted, but I've never written.
What about
for a
your
show.
judge show? Did
Well,
you
that
write
was
on
all
it?
improvised.
That was just improv, yeah.
I mean, the acts would get the case,
Right.
and they would have writers. Bob, Oshak.
Yeah, of course. I love Bob
me
Ocean.
too. Oshak, a couple other guys I forget. It was funny about that show because it's only 3 years ago, not even.
Yeah.
We did it for I think we did it for 4 years. I forget. We did it here, and then we did it at the Laugh Factory in Long Beach. But like, this just show you about like people's perception. They always wanted Tom Arnold on the show, right? Fine.
Yeah.
But mix it up a little. They wouldn't hire. I had to beg for Russell Peters and Daniel Tosh.
What?
Right? I had to go, please listen to me. These guys are not. They go, well, that's your friends. I go, yeah, but I got a lot of friends.
Yeah.
These guys are really good. Trust me. Will you trust me on Tosh?
You know what? Can
You
they just
trust
bring a
me
couple
on-
pay stubs and they'll show you? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
They're working.
They never heard of them. They
what?
never.
Who are
yeah.
these people?
They're not there anymore. DirecTV. They got fired. But
That's
I mean, how do you
ridiculous.
not know those two? Russell is the highest grossing act in the world
Yes.
for ticket sales, and Daniel has got the biggest show ever on Comedy Central.
Ever.
He didn't have it at the time. He had the show, but
Right.
it hadn't hit yet.
Right.
But still, he was a
But
fucking
it's a
great
show.
comedian.
He's a great comic.
Yeah. Funny.
Oh, yeah.
Their
Sometimes,
taste.
yeah. I don't trust network people. Very, very rarely
No.
have I met one that I go, all right, it's in good hands because you know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You have a good sense of timing. You have a good sense of comedy. It's never the case. I went in with a comic. Do you know Eric Schwartz? Smoothie. He does like rap parodies. Really funny guy. We went into Disney. We pitched
Oh
them.
no, I'm thinking of Eric Griffin.
No, white guy, Jewish guy.
Eric Griffin, is he white?
Oh, Eric. Actually, I'm thinking he might be half. No, Eric
No,
Schwartz.
I'm kidding, because he always he's a man of mystery.
Yes,
Man of mystery
that's
races.
true. That's true. He could be anything.
Yeah.
He could be like 3 different races. We went into Disney. We pitched them an idea. They said, okay, here's money for the pilot. Go shoot it. And then they just gave us notes until they just chipped away
Chipped away everything
until
funny.
it was nothing.
Yeah,
Until it was
that
just a
happened.
pile of dust.
That happened to me with ABC once. We had written
Yeah.
a teaser for Comedy Central, which was these 7-minute things they used to do. And that's how, remember Dr. Katz?
Yeah.
Well, that's how Dr. Katz started on a teaser. They got picked up from there. This show got picked up from ABC, and they systematically took everything for the
Right.
soul. They ripped
Right.
it out of it.
Ripped it out. And then they go, I don't think we're going to move forward with it. Really? How surprising,
Yeah.
because you turned it into absolute crap.
Yeah,
I'm so
that's why-
surprised you don't want to move forward.
Well, they don't have any theater background, a lot of these people. We had a
Well,
guy.
then hire someone that does.
Well, yeah, but I mean, what happens is I had a show one time written for me that I got fired. I got fired from, I couldn't play myself, they said. But they didn't get me. It was all mean without any kind of glint in my eye. If I say something, you know, you're supposed to know that there's a twinkle, there's a fucking, I'm kidding.
Right.
Otherwise I'm just an asshole. And they just
Right.
made me an asshole that wasn't funny. Like Danny DeVito in Taxi. He was funny.
Yeah.
He was, with the little prick that he was, he had a
Right.
charm to him, a likability.
That character was genius.
Yeah. I mean, even like, if you look at the dramas, even James Gandolfini, he's a fucking mean asshole mob guy.
Right.
But there was something charming about him.
There has to be, or else there's
Yeah.
no reason for us to
Right.
want
Why
to
would
kind
you
of
be
vote for
interested
him.
in it?
But
Yeah.
yeah.
And they made me so mean. And the guy who was the head of Fox Comedy at the time wasn't a bad guy. His name was Sandy Grushow. And he was talking to me. Remember that lounge comedian I was doing for you before? Is this thing on?
Right.
He liked that character, right? And then we started talking about it. And then as a normal conversation, I went to him and asked him about his background. Everything was in marketing.
Everything.
And
Of
you know how he got the job? Friend of Rupert Murdoch.
A friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rupert Murdoch was a buddy of his. That's what I heard anyway. But when I got fired, I said, "Good." This guy, one of the heads of HBO at the time, was an HBO Fox thing, and he said, "Punch up the jokes." I go, "What jokes?" He goes, like I said, "I don't see any jokes." I think I know what jokes are. There's nothing. Jokes are like something that you laugh at, right? Like funny. Nothing funny. Just mean.
And what was the premise?
I don't remember. I had some kind of deli, and it was called Hollywood Boulevard, and I had a deli that I don't know. I was just an asshole, just a mean fucking.
Did you have like a wife? Did you have a family? Did you have a girlfriend?
I forget.
2 gay neighbors with a tiger? Did you have anything?
Yes, it's a good callback. That's why you get the money
That's
from
why
the
I'm here.
Tonight Show.
Yep. Well, I'll develop something for you.
I would love to work with you.
I think that you would be so perfect. Television is actually the perfect medium for you.
Yeah.
It really,
I don't
really
know.
is.
I had Adam Ray on the show, and he's
Yeah.
like a young, handsome, on his way up guy.
Yeah.
And I said that we were kidding about like when he gets his show, if I could just be the neighbor. Like everybody always says that, like as if it's so simple. Why don't you get maybe maybe Tim Allen will put you on his show. You could be
Yeah.
like the neighbor.
Yeah, sure.
The neighbor. Who the fuck's the neighbor? I mean, it's like.
The guy without a face was the neighbor on Tim's show.
Right. Thanks for being on the show. And
Dom, it was my pleasure.
do you have a Twitter?
I do, at Kira Comedy.
At Kira.
KIRACOMEDY.
Great to have. I'm at Dom Irrera. We'll see you next time. God bless. Have a nice one. Thank you, my darling.
Thank you, my darling. Oh, your hands are warm.
My hands are soft.
They
Just
are.
like my cock. We're out of here.